I bring out a whole bag of gummy worms and they're like, oh, did you know that the factory for Trolley is just a couple miles away? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Montana, and if you haven't seen any of my other videos, then thank you for clicking on this one. I was an exchange student in Germany the past year, and I make a lot of videos on German culture, especially in comparison to American culture. Today, I'm making a video about some of the most popular brands and really common brands that you see in America, and I'm sure internationally, but they are actually German brands, and most of them I didn't know were German until I moved to Germany, or even until after I came back to the US. I had people telling me about these brands and saying, oh, did you see them a lot in Germany? So I've got, I think, 8 or 9 brands and some funny stories to go along with a few of them. My first one is Adidas, and I really had no clue this was a German brand until I got there, and I think that honestly, I've seen more Adidas pants, like those classic Adidas sweatpants here in the US than I actually saw in Germany, because it's just a more common thing to wear athleisure or athletic clothing in the US than it is on the daily in Germany. But Adidas is actually pronounced differently in Germany. It's, correct me in the comments if I'm saying it wrong, they say Adidas and not Adidas, so that's the American take on it. The next one that I have, I tried to stay away from car brands because in the US that's really what we think of when you think of the German economy. It's all of the car manufacturers like BMW and Volkswagen, so those are pretty popular and people know that those are German. But the one that I didn't know was German is Porsche, or I think they say Porsche. And I had no clue that was a German car brand. Honestly, I don't really think that word sounds that German, because when you hear Volkswagen, then it sounds pretty German to Americans. However, that is also a really popular car brand here that is manufactured and originated in Germany. The next one that I have is probably the least surprising out of all of these, but I just wanted to include it for any viewers who might not know that it's German, and that's Birkenstock shoes. I own so many pairs of Birkenstocks. I own at least 4 or 5, I think 5 now. I purchased a pair while I was in Germany, and these shoes are so popular in America right now. I mean, every single teen girl has a pair of Birkenstocks, and the shoes that are really popular, the crisscross ones on the toe, I can insert a picture, but I found it really strange because when I got to Germany, Birkenstocks aren't actually that popular because they're mainly worn as house shoes, or just not in the sense that they're worn in America, because people will wear socks with Birkenstocks, they just wear the plain 2-strap sandals out in public, and you don't really see that in Germany as much. I did see a lot of Birkenstock stores, but whenever I'd see them, there were always a lot of tourists there, and they just aren't worn in the same style that they are in America. However, they're a lot cheaper in Europe, so I think a pair of Birkenstocks is about 70 euros, maybe if you can find some on sale. I think mine were 45, but they were on sale. Versus in the US, they are 100 plus for Birkenstocks, $100+, but that's still equivalent to, say, 90 euros. So if you want Birkenstocks, get them in Europe. They're a lot cheaper. The next one that I have that I had no idea was German at all is Nivea. They make shampoos, they make lotions, chapsticks, some beauty maybe, but mainly they're known for lotions and facial body products. I had no clue they were German until I went to DM with my host sister, and there was so much Nivea, and I well enough looked at the little brand and it said made in Germany. That's a very common product here in the US. My mom gave me some Nivea chapstick in my Easter basket. Okay, the next one, this is my one of my favorite stories. Before I left for Germany, I went to the local Five Below, which is just kind of an equivalent of a Euro shop. I don't know, it's a cheap store. And I picked out all this candy, all this American candy that I wanted to share with my host family. I had some Laffy Taffy, I brought Hershey's, all sorts of American sweets. And I had been lugging this candy around in the very bottom of the backpack for so long. because I had a whole month-long language camp before I even met my host family. And then I show up to my host family and I'm super excited, and half the candy's smashed. I'm afraid that it's old and tastes bad, but anyway, I was still really excited. And I told my host family, oh my gosh, I have all these treats for you guys, all this candy. I really want you to try it and see if you like American candy. So I bring it out, and some of it was new, and in general, I don't think they really liked the candy because it was too sweet, which I totally understand because American candy is a lot sweeter than German candy. Okay, but anyway, I bring out a whole bag of gummy worms, Trolley gummy worms, and they're like, oh, did you know that the factory for Trolley is just a couple miles away? Like, it's less than an hour away from here. And I was so embarrassed because I had really been lugging all this candy around only for them to tell me that it was a German brand and that the candy that I thought was so American was actually German. So they really laughed at me for that one, but then we all ate the gummy worms because those are like my favorite candy. So it was fine. At the end of the day, it was just more gummy worms. Not bad. But anyway, okay, back on track. The brand that is really common in America that is actually German is Trolley. They make gummies and candy, and those are very popular. Especially the gummy worms are super popular in American candy stores and movie theaters. The next one is a fashion company that you see a lot in America. It's Hugo Boss. This is another one where they say it differently in Germany. I don't know how to say that one in German. But that is a German brand. However, it's super common in American fashion, editorials, Instagram. You see that a lot in stores. Another one that I had no clue until I was, where was I? I think I was actually in Austria where I figured this out because I was with my parents. And there was a children's toy store and my mom pointed out some of the teddy bears there. And they're Steiff or Steiff. I think it's Steiff, so in German Steiff, but it's a super expensive bougie children's plush brand. They make teddy bears. I think they were the original teddy bear maker, maybe. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, don't count me on that, but they make super expensive children's toys, and honestly I think they're collectors, which is why it's so expensive. But they always have this little pin in the ear, like a little metal thing in the ear with the tag, and it says the brand, and I had no clue those were German. You can find those products here in luxury toy stores as well, sometimes in less luxury toy stores. I definitely knew what that brand was before seeing it in Germany, and they used to be very big. There was this huge toy store at called FAO Schwarz. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It was in New York City, and it was one of the biggest toy stores in the US. There were slides in the toy store. There were so much stuff there. And it was where there's a movie called Big. That's where part of it took place. It was filmed there, or maybe not filmed there, but it took place in FAO Schwarz. And that is where they had a ton of Steiff products. But unfortunately, I think that store is shut down now. Okay, I have two more. The next one is Haribo, which I guess is very common, and people maybe know that because it sounds kind of German. However, I just wanted to include that in because it is a super popular candy brand here. Go into a grocery store, they'll definitely have Haribo, but they don't have the huge variety that they have in Germany. Like when I went to even just a Rewe, they had every Haribo brand, or not brand, every Haribo type of gummy. They had frogs, apple rings, Coke bottles, anything. Literally any type of Haribo candy. And our selection in the US is not that big. Maybe I'm just dumb, but I'm pretty sure not every American realizes how many brands we have are actually German. The last one that I have is Puma. This is a sports shoe company, and I think they make tracksuits and clothing too now, but it's super common. You can compare it to Nike, to Adidas, and the Puma shoes are actually getting back in style, like the kind of vintage bright color Puma shoes, those are gaining popularity. I just think it's so crazy how there are so many brands and clothing items, foods, all sorts of things that we use on the daily here in America, and we don't realize that they're actually of German origin and are German created products. I learned a lot of this while living there and seeing how common these products are. So I thought it was really cool, and I just wanted to share these products because maybe it's interesting for you guys to hear what we use in the US and what we find popular. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, stay healthy, and yeah, bleib gesund. Tschüss!